When people think about managing anxiety, they often focus on therapy, medications, or mindfulness techniques. And while these are crucial parts of the healing process, there's another factor that is often overlooked: your diet. The food you eat directly influences how your brain functions, how your body handles stress, and even how stable your mood feels throughout the day. Some foods can actually increase the likelihood of panic attacks, trigger racing thoughts, or worsen feelings of restlessness. Today, I want to focus on 5 specific foods that you should avoid if you're dealing with anxiety. These are common items many people consume daily without realizing how much they're feeding their nervous system with the wrong fuel. Let's talk about why cutting them out could help you feel calmer, clearer, and more balanced. Let's start with grilled meat. For many, grilled chicken or barbecue ribs feel like the perfect meal: delicious, smoky, and satisfying. But what most people don't realize is that grilled meat contains harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These are chemicals that form when meat is cooked at high temperatures, especially over an open flame or grill. AGEs are linked to inflammation and oxidative stress, both of which can seriously affect your mental health. Why? Because inflammation doesn't just damage your joints or your skin, it also affects your brain. Studies show that chronic inflammation increases the risk of depression and anxiety by disrupting neurotransmitter balance, especially serotonin and dopamine. On top of that, grilling meat can produce heterocyclic amines, HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, which are toxic compounds that don't just harm your body, they actually interfere with how your nervous system responds to stress. If you're constantly eating grilled meats, you might be silently increasing your baseline level of anxiety without even realizing it. The solution isn't to avoid meat altogether, but to choose cooking methods that are gentler on your nervous system. Try baking, steaming, or slow cooking instead. These methods reduce harmful compounds and are much kinder to both your body and mind. Cookies are comforting. They remind us of childhood, family gatherings, and simple pleasures. But from a biological perspective, cookies are one of the worst things you can eat when you're trying to calm your mind. Why? Because they are loaded with refined sugars and processed fats, which wreak havoc on your blood sugar levels. When you eat a cookie, your blood sugar spikes rapidly, giving you a brief burst of energy or a short mood lift. But this high is always followed by a crash, a sudden drop in blood sugar that leaves you feeling shaky, irritable, and anxious. This roller coaster isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous for people struggling with chronic anxiety. Blood sugar instability triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which mimic the physical sensations of anxiety. Rapid heartbeat, sweating, nervousness. Over time, frequent sugar spikes can damage your body's ability to regulate these hormones, creating a vicious cycle. Additionally, cookies often contain trans fats, which are known to increase inflammation in the brain, further worsening symptoms of anxiety and even depression. If you're craving something sweet, try natural alternatives like a piece of dark chocolate, some berries, or a handful of almonds with honey. These choices won't throw your system into chaos the way refined sugar does. Cold cuts, sausages, bacon, and other processed meats are another hidden danger when it comes to mental health. Most people know that these foods are linked to heart disease and cancer, but very few realize how damaging they are to the brain and nervous system. Processed meats are typically loaded with nitrates and nitrites, which are preservatives used to extend shelf life and enhance flavor. The problem is that nitrates can interfere with the way your body metabolizes oxygen, and this can lead to fatigue, dizziness, and mood disturbances. Several studies have shown a direct link between high nitrate consumption and increased symptoms of anxiety and even bipolar disorder. Additionally, processed meats are often high in sodium, which raises your blood pressure and triggers a stress response in the body. When your body feels physically stressed, your mind follows. There's also a concern about the gut-brain connection. Processed meats can disrupt the balance of healthy bacteria in your intestines, leading to gut inflammation, which in turn affects your mood and emotional regulation. If you're trying to reduce anxiety, replacing cold cuts with fresh, lean proteins like turkey breast, chicken, or fish can make a massive difference. Even plant-based options like lentils or tofu can be excellent substitutes without the added chemical stress. Many people start their day with a bowl of cereal, thinking it's a healthy choice. But the truth is, most breakfast cereals are packed with sugar, artificial colors, and preservatives. and very few contain the fiber and nutrients your body actually needs. When you start your morning with a sugary cereal, you immediately set yourself up for a blood sugar spike, followed by a crash. And that crash mimics the symptoms of anxiety. You might feel lightheaded, shaky, or unusually tense just an hour after eating. Plus, these cereals are often stripped of their natural nutrients during processing, which means you're missing out on essential vitamins and minerals like magnesium and B vitamins, both of which are crucial for keeping your nervous system calm and stable. Magnesium, in particular, is known as the relaxation mineral because it helps regulate cortisol, your main stress hormone. Without enough magnesium, your body struggles to calm down after a stressful event, keeping you in a heightened state of alertness. B vitamins are vital for the production of serotonin and dopamine, two neurotransmitters that regulate mood. Instead of boxed cereals, try starting your day with oatmeal topped with nuts and seeds or a smoothie with leafy greens, berries, and protein. These options keep your blood sugar stable and nourish your brain. French fries are another beloved comfort food that can actually make you feel worse, especially if you struggle with anxiety. Most fries are cooked in highly processed vegetable oils like soybean or corn oil, which are rich in omega-6 fatty acids. While your body needs some omega-6s, too much can create an imbalance between omega-6 and omega-3 fats, leading to increased inflammation. And as we've discussed, inflammation doesn't just affect your body, it affects your mind. Inflammation can interfere with the production of GABA, a neurotransmitter responsible for calming your nervous system. When GABA levels are low, you may experience symptoms like restlessness, racing thoughts, and insomnia. On top of that, French fries are loaded with salt, which raises blood pressure and activates your body's fight-or-flight response. That's the last thing you need when you're already dealing with anxiety. To make matters worse, most commercially prepared fries contain acrylamides, a chemical that forms when starchy foods are cooked at high temperatures. Acrylamides are linked to neurological damage in animal studies, and while the research is still evolving in humans, it's enough to raise concern. If you're craving something crispy, try baking sweet potato wedges at home with olive oil and rosemary. You'll satisfy your craving without flooding your system with anxiety-provoking compounds. Now let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Why do these foods have such a powerful impact on anxiety? The answer lies partly in the gut-brain axis. Your digestive system and your brain are in constant communication through a network of nerves, hormones, and chemicals. When you eat foods that disrupt gut health, like processed meats, fried foods, or sugary cereals, you're not just upsetting your stomach. You're sending stress signals to your brain. An unhealthy gut produces fewer neurotransmitters like serotonin, which is primarily made in the gut. Without enough serotonin, you're more likely to feel anxious, depressed, or emotionally unstable. Additionally, gut inflammation triggers the release of pro-inflammatory cytokines, chemicals that interfere with mood regulation. By choosing healthier foods, you help restore balance to this delicate system, making it easier for your body and mind to stay calm. Another critical factor is blood sugar regulation. Your brain is highly sensitive to changes in blood sugar. When your levels drop too low, your body releases adrenaline and cortisol to compensate, two hormones that create the physical sensations of anxiety. On the flip side, when your blood sugar is too high from consuming refined carbohydrates, your pancreas has to release large amounts of insulin, which can eventually lead to insulin resistance. This resistance is not just a pathway to diabetes, it's also linked to mood disorders. Studies show that people with poor blood sugar control are more likely to experience anxiety, panic attacks, and even depression. Maintaining stable blood sugar through balanced meals, fiber-rich foods, and healthy fats is one of the most effective ways to support mental health. Anxiety is complex, and it's important to approach it from multiple angles. That includes emotional support, therapy, stress management, and yes, the food you eat every day. By understanding how certain foods affect your brain chemistry and your nervous system, you empower yourself to make better choices. Remember, food isn't just fuel, it's information. Every bite you take sends messages to your body. So the next time you reach for grilled meat, cookies, cold cuts, sugary cereals, or fries, take a moment to consider whether that choice is helping you feel better or making things harder. Your mind and body are connected, and by treating both with care, you set yourself on a path toward healing.